The second CME is less than a month away. Get your tickets now at masculineexcellence.com. Link in description.
This is The Briefing. I'm George Bruno, and I'm talking with Zach Small. Welcome.
Sir, how you doing?
Good, good. Wow, what a weekend.
It's been an event. It's been fantastic.
Holy cow, what did you talk about?
Let's talk about a family man's frame. So basically, I was explaining my perspective on the world, how I see things, and how I think other men could take some solid insights and takeaways from it.
Yeah. One of the things, when I was in there for a few minutes, you were talking about not taking chances, but making choices. What's the difference between taking a chance and making a choice?
Making a choice is actually putting work into something. Taking a chance is just kind of, I hope something changes. I hope my life improves. I take this quarter and this change, I put it, and hopefully if I win, that'll change my life and make me better. When they could change some habits and actually make themselves better.
Yeah.
You know, the food, the drinks, whatever it is they're struggling with,
Yeah.
they could sit and actually make those changes. It's a wild perspective when you really think about how many people are sitting here right now hoping that that quarter or that's, I don't know how they're working now, but the slot machine will change their life. But they're eating the wrong foods, drinking the wrong drinks.
Yeah.
So you could change who you are.
Yeah. How ironic that we are at a casino and you were talking about men taking chances when this whole establishment is about taking chances, not making choices.
You know, it's interesting, walking around here and seeing these people, I've decided that I want to be a creator in Vegas where everybody else consumes my content. And when I walked in there and all those men, I was like, you spend your money investing in yourself. These men aren't whoring around, they're not boozing around, they're going to speeches early and throughout the entire day, surrounded by people doing the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, they're creating something in Vegas, they're not taking anything in Vegas.
Yeah. It was interesting. I was talking to somebody, and they had mentioned that they earmarked $100 over the weekend to play slots or do something, you know, whatever. Spend no more than $100, which I guess if you're going to gamble, have a limit, you know. But they were at one table where people were taking stacks of $100 bills and putting them down and losing, and whatever the title of the person that runs that table was just taking their money by the $100 stacks and just putting it into the hole. I found that interesting. What if those people put that money into themselves?
That's been a running theme, though, through all these speeches. How many times have we heard, invest in you?
Yes.
You'll never regret investing in you. And maybe these guys are at a level that I'm not at, but I'm not at the point where I can throw $1,000 just to give away, throw it down, give it away 10, 15, 20 times over.
Yeah.
You know, I want to put that money towards my website, towards my growth, towards my fitness, building my home gym. That's where my money's going to go. You know, I don't want to just give it away to some stranger or some establishment for a good time for one night.
Yeah. There are so many men's communities out there that are $25 a month, $50 a month, 100, 1,000, 5. I mean, there's something for everybody. And they're all, some people say, well, I'm not going to make anyone else rich. And I'm like, well, that's the wrong mindset. You're investing in yourself. When you're with a group that meets once a week via Zoom or has an activity together, it's kind of like the mastermind thing. There's the collective mind of the group that can help change your life. It's the honest feedback. Where are you going to get that from? You know, that's investing in yourself.
100%.
100%. You have the fraternity of excellence.
Yes, sir.
That's men investing in themselves. Tell me about that.
So there's a paywall to get in because there's real work being done in there. You know, and these men, if you don't put that skin in the game, you know, the quote unquote, if you don't put something on the line, there's already thousands of free resources for you to use and you're not using them. You put money on something, you want to get something from it.
Yeah.
You spend your $100, your whatever, you know, that you buy in for your membership, you want to get 3, 5, 100 times that in return. Make those life-changing choices. Make those decisions where it's going to be really hard, but you now have accountability. Make the commitment, share the goal, and then you're surrounded by experts who can help you accelerate your growth. Winning isn't just doing the right thing yourself, it's surrounding yourself with the right team. Nobody gets anywhere alone. And inside FOE, we're breaking it down all the way to the foundational level. So the top tier guys, they find the best person in sales. They find the most professional gentleman to host these conferences and to put on these interviews. That's what they do to win. But what about, you want to be the best dad? You want to be the best husband? You want to start getting over addictions? You can't lose the weight. Well, then you got to find the right trainer. You got to find the right, group collectively of family men to talk about that. Going through divorce. How can you go through divorce peacefully instead of, it's painful, but how can you make the best of it?
Yeah.
We talk about all these things, and these men, you pay to get in, you have access to all of that. It blows my mind when people say things like, I'm not here to make you rich. Man, I'm here to make you rich though. You pay me and I make you rich. Yeah. Like that's the return is I will help you change your life. Yeah. And all those men collectively, it's one of the greatest investments a man can make. And in FOE, absolutely, we're great at what we do, but just in any community or any coach or anybody that can make you better.
Men won't pay to become part of a men's community, but they will gamble. They'll sit at a slot machine.
Men will pay for an OnlyFans and tell me they won't pay to be in FOE.
Yeah.
I've had this conversation.
Yeah.
I'd rather put it towards this, you'll spend all this money on the booze. Man, if you skip that booze for 1 month, you could change your whole life. It's literally the cost covers your booze. Get rid of that. Yeah. Now you're not drunk. Now you're not fat. Now you're not lazy. Now you're surrounded by dudes who will kick you in the ass to get you moving forward.
Yeah.
It's just about priorities.
Let me ask you this. In a private men's community, is there confidentiality?
With regards to it going public or within one another?
Like if you're in a group and one guy is saying things that are very private about his life, is it shunned upon if someone else said publicly that this person is going through this or has experienced this? And you guys hold each other's darkest secrets, don't you?
Yes.
Is there kind of like a code?
We have a code of honor. And we've removed many men from this group. I don't run a group where I'm like, everybody come in, I want your money. I have a group, come on in and now prove why you belong. And if you don't belong, please leave. Get out, or I will remove you. Yeah. One of those two things will happen. I don't have time to deal with people who aren't ready to work. Yeah. I do not have the time for it. The confidentiality is our highest standard. That's the first rule in the code of honor. What happens in this brotherhood stays in this brotherhood. Stays. Conflict, personal things, the deepest, darkest things you don't want the world to know, we talk about those things. And our track record since 2018 when we launched till now is impeccable because that is an important and understood aspect of why it works. Mm-hmm. FOE works because there's trust. Mm-hmm. For the first time in many of these men's lives, they trust the men they're talking to. Mm-hmm. I trust that you have my best interest in mind. So here's my darkest shit. Now, if you bring that back to me, hey, that's fine. Bring darker. That's okay. Let it out, brother. Whatever you have to say, whatever you need to improve, get it off your chest. I'll work with you, and that's not going to go anywhere. It doesn't leave our walls.
So you're not doxing each other and all this kind of stuff?
No, sir.
Good. It's interesting. Many of us have poked fun at the whole concept of a safe space. I've done it, but I like the idea of a trust space, not a safe space. It seems like that's what you guys are doing. It's a trust space.
I've made the same jab at us. I'm like, it's like the safe space for men, to actually be men, though. Yeah. The problem is a lot of people want their safe space to not face reality. I want to go into my bubble where I'm not held accountable for my actions and where there's health at every size and I can do what I want and still be successful and happy. Well, in our space, here's the running joke really inside FOE. On public social media, it's highlight reel, it's happiness, it's success. Yeah. When you go on FOE, it is a dumpster fire. Yeah. We are sharing the hardest things. We are losing all the time. Guys, I struggle here, help me out. Guys, I tried this, it didn't work. And we get a lot of wins, but we share real things. And that's a safe place to do it. Yeah. The word vulnerability has been really misused. But honestly, those men share things that put them in a vulnerable position. But by doing so, not only do they forge a bond with their fellow men, they can truly begin the healing. Mm-hmm. They kind of they stop picking at the wound and they just let it close. Yeah. You face it, you deal with it, and then you go forward with a stronger foundation.
Stop picking at the wound and let it close, let it heal. In what ways do men pick at the wound?
Well, think about all the times they say, because my father hit me, I'm now, I have anxiety and I'm afraid to put myself out there. I don't have confidence. Let that heal, man. You have to heal from your childhood trauma. My divorce, this girl broke my heart when I was a teenager and now I'm 57 years old and I haven't dated since. Bro, how many opportunities have you missed because you keep thinking back to that wound, you keep picking at it.
Yeah.
You have to face it. That hurt. You didn't know what you didn't know. Maybe you weren't, the man that you should have been in that position. And so she left.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's all right. You're not less of a man now for that.
Yeah.
Let's heal from that. But you have to talk about it. You've got to face it. And it's not really the breakup. It's what you felt from the breakup.
Yeah.
When you can handle that, all right, maybe you can start dating again. You can find love again. Relationship PTSD is a thing. They have that 1,000-yard, they go back to the war of divorce or the breakup and the pain. And it's when you can truly face that for what it is, allow your soul to heal, you can connect again. You can find love again.
Yeah.
But that goes for fitness. That goes for everything.
Yeah.
But those are really the main ones is childhood pain, being carried through, and relationship. Those are some of the big ones that we're facing.
Give me an example of a guy, confidential example of someone who came in, had to deal with something, dealt with it successfully without revealing personally identifiable information. Give me an example of someone.
We had a man come in that was morbidly obese. He was video gaming constantly throughout the day, strained relationships, poor, in poverty. He was struggling at his job. He started working, he went through 31 DTM. He started working with FOE, and he is now multi-published author, self-employed, multiple more children since then, and is thriving. And again, when I say self-employed, very well self-employed. He spun his whole life. His physique is dialed in. His wife is happier than ever, and they're making all these babies and they're growing around. He's more connected with his children, all because he had a group of men to rely on.
Nice.
But he did the work. We help men help themselves, and that's an important part of that. So this man, I can claim him as a testimonial to the group working, but he did all the reps, and we were just there to help him along the way.
Yeah, I love that. What's the future of FOE?
Growth. We're trying to connect more and more and more. So I'm looking to do maybe more regional meetups. Travel got real weird with COVID and all that. I had a plan to Canada I had to cancel. I had a trip to the South I had to cancel. Things got a little wild, but it's coming back. And we're an online group. We meet literally weekly. And when I say we, different factions of men who are local. Hey, I'm traveling to Atlanta. Who's local? 5 guys ping up. Next thing you know, there's a picture of those 5 guys, those 6 guys having dinner together. Hey, I'm traveling over here. They're meeting up every single week, new men.
So like a region, like FOE Chicago, FOE Atlanta, FOE Dallas.
It's everywhere. Honestly, it's everywhere. We even have, it's harder for the European guys because they're way more spread out and travel's way more restricted over there. But those guys, we're seeing, hey, in Switzerland, these guys are meeting up. Hey, these guys over here, it's insane. We have Australia, but throughout the US, even in Canada, it's very frequent. Every week, you're getting these photos of 5, 10 guys together, maybe 2, 3 over here. Next month, 23 of us will be together, paintballing, whitewater rafting, spending the nights together, going through mind, body, spirit.
Yeah.
Just better men. Men's retreats are a thing that I think need to make a much larger comeback.
Yeah. You and I have a mutual friend, Michael Foster. Someone, love him like a brother, good guy. His organization is It's Good to Be a Man. Mm-hmm. Good speaker, good writer, good man, family man. It's good to be a man in competition with FOE or vice versa?
The only way, I love that. That's a great question. No. To answer the question, no. We're trying to help men win. If you need It's Good to Be a Man, please go there. If you're in FOE and you better relate to Mike's message and the group over there, please go.
Yeah.
I will support you. I will connect you with Michael. I will get you signed up today.
Yeah.
This isn't about my income. I will bring us to 2 men before I compromise.
You will
our
refer another man, you will refer a man to another organization.
100%.
I love that.
If that's what
because
they need.
that's what's best for that man.
Yes. This is what really bothers me about some of the things in our space. This is about helping the men win.
Yeah.
Again, I will smash FOE to 2 members if that is what has to happen for us to maintain our quota. I will not lower our standards to meet a quota.
Yeah. There's room for everybody. All kinds of men's development groups. There's something for everybody, isn't there?
I've helped men in FOE create their own groups that have taken men from FOE.
Yeah.
We have built our own segments because they were focused on a different niche than what we're focused on.
So you're not threatened by another group starting.
I want them to win. I'm building these, I'm helping these men. Here are all my tools as to how I did FOE. Literally, step 1 to execution of going live. Here, go do it yourself. I want you to.
To me, that's the definition of winning.
Yeah. When they win, I win. People have a really hard time. They think it's a trite slogan for online. No. The better you're doing, the better I'm doing. You're my friend. I want you to win.
Yeah.
If you beat me in subscribers and money and whatever, good. Now I'm chasing you. And when I pass you, you come get me.
That's why I like to know about these different organizations, because I have a similar attitude. You know, if I think that it's good to be a man would be appropriate for a certain person, I move them in that direction. Actually, some of my followers, my subscribers on YouTube, I think a couple guys made their way to FOE, and I hear nothing but great things from it. So I think there's something for everybody out there, and I think that's the proper attitude to have. I remember I was interviewing Donovan. Actually, I interviewed Donovan on my channel, and I named a bunch of conferences and retreats, of which I've been to so many in my lifetime. I have probably been to more men's conferences, retreats, seminars, workshops than any man I know. I've been doing it since I was a teenager. And I named a lot of these different things. And I said to him, I go, why another men's conference? Why another men's group? And he gave this great answer that, you know, his conference is not for everybody, and that he would refer people somewhere else if he felt that it was appropriate for them. Mm-hmm. He's not trying to dominate the space, but trying to appropriate the space. His message might be necessary for certain people. His demographics might be different than the demographics that you have, and Michael Foster's and so forth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're in a pond. You know, it seems like we're in a pond and people are fighting to be the king minnow. I am looking at whales on the ocean.
Yeah.
That's where my ship is going. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know, what's interesting, Ryan Mickler, he runs the Order of Man.
Yes.
As FOE was growing, we were hitting a point where there were too many men. I was like, I had an intimate relationship with this many, and now that it's growing to this size, it's harder to balance that individual communication when everybody's talking at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I was like, hey, how did you handle this? He gave me the time of day. We had a phone call. He broke it down how he handled his group as it grew. I applied that. It immediately fixed my issue. He didn't have to do that. Mm-hmm. He could have easily said, no, you're another men's group. You know, you're coming after me. No. He's like, hey, man, here's what I'm doing. I didn't pay for that. It was just from the kindness of his heart, from wanting to help me win. And every now and then we'll go back and forth. I'm like, hey, thanks, dude. Like, that really helped me. I appreciate it. You always want to thank the person that helped you along the way. And I'm always helping him. He's one of the ones who, he threw me a rope. Hey, try this. And I did. And it worked.
Yeah.
You know, and do you think he's like, oh, I'm worried about, he's trying to go further. I'm trying to go further. You're trying to go further. And to your point, you know, to Donovan, I can't beat George. I can't beat Donovan. Y'all can't beat Zach. So if somebody wants Zach, they're going to come to me. If somebody wants you, they're going to go to you. Why would I have an issue with that? Yeah. Good. You're a good person. He's a good person. Look what he threw on. You know, why would I have any issue with that? Yeah. Go build it, grow it, teach me while you're doing it. Yeah. Maybe you can now pull me up. Hey, Zach, how did you do that? Let me tell you, just like Ryan helped me. Yeah. Try it this way.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, like, we know so many men that have different organizations. Jack Murphy has his organization. Rich Cooper has his men's community. I just had a conversation with Steve Maeda, who I didn't know Steve from the Man in the Moon. He's got his own men's group. You got Michael Foster. So these men aren't your enemies. They're not your adversaries, are they?
We're winning together.
I love it.
Same team. I love that hashtag, same team.
What's that phrase about the tide and the ships? What's that?
Yeah, the rising tide lifts all boats.
Isn't that something?
And isn't that what we're doing?
Explain that to the audience who's never heard that.
When you watch, you know, the time lapse of the tide coming in, tide going out, all of those boats go up, all of those boats go down. Some people try to raise themselves by putting their hands on the shoulders of those around them, pushing them down to go up. That's not a rising tide. That's an individual trying to win at the expense of others.
Yeah.
The individuals who are trying to win and help their fellow men win, or their fellow people win, men or women, when you're trying to help them win, they get better and you get better.
Yeah.
And you, throughout your years of doing this, I guarantee, all right, I'm going to try to, I'll speak for you, and I think you'll agree with this. When you help somebody, you help yourself just as much. Yeah. When you're teaching something to someone, you're also improving. When I see guys like Jeff Putnam, who just started out, he just passed me on Twitter followers. I was like, oh, you got me, man.
Yeah.
Keep going, dude. He's about to hit 30,000. And he's at 27, I'm at 25. I'm like, I'm going to get there first. It's the best competition because now he's up and now I'm up. And we're both going up.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to lose that's trying to help people win.
It's been nice watching his ascent.
I love it. He's so interesting and just raw and authentic.
Yeah.
Like that's who he is.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed watching him grow. It's been a real pleasure. It's interesting.
That's one of the ones inside FOE though. You know, the things we go through, he's falling back. Hey guys, what about this? I've learned so much from him.
He's part of FOE?
He's another FOE guy.
Isn't that something?
It's funny how we're all winning when we're working together.
Yeah, yeah.
The first day, the first 4 speeches, FOE were 75% of them. Today, Anthony Migliorino just kicked off of peacefulfathers.com. He kicked off the closing day. We're representing the men inside. They're getting so good because they can lean on people to work together.
I love it.
It's the same team.
You know, it's interesting. I have a client that belongs to a couple different gyms, actually 3 to be exact. And I said, why do you belong to 3 different gyms? He goes, well, I get different things from different gyms. He goes to a chain fitness place, then he belongs to a bodybuilding gym as well, and then some other gym. And I'm like, what? He says, well, I get different things out of different gyms. My workouts are different at each one, and he has a well-developed physique and whatever. And I know men who belong to FOE and Jack Murphy's organization, and they're flirting with another organization right now, and I'm like, that's investing in yourself. That's pretty darn badass, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
It's because one group might not meet all of your needs. You might have needs that, that this group might be able to meet that this group can't. But your main group is this one here. Holy cow. That's not gambling. That's not taking a chance. That's making a choice. That's betting on yourself.
You know, instead of black or red, they're choosing me. Yeah. I'm putting it on me.
Yeah. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the whole pill culture, red pill, black pill, all this kind of stuff? And that's not a trick question. I'm not trying to get you to say anything bad or get you to say anything good or comment on people, but what are your thoughts about the pill culture?
I think people are so stuck on titles. They are so stuck on labels. Do you, man. Who cares about the pill? Who cares about the label? Do you? Are they monikers used to describe something? I don't even know anymore. They mean so many different things. I have no idea. I don't care. Yeah. I'm here to help men win. If that's blue, purple, yellow, green, black, nice. I don't care. I'm here to help men win. Yeah. You know, and if people want to get stuck on labels or these different fractions, we are so small and life is so short to try to stick to somebody else's buoys. My ship, again, I'm going where I want to go. You know, and I'm bringing all these dudes with me. Like, we're not going to stay within the lane of red or purple or blue or green or yellow. Like, I'm all of it. Dude, all that's in the ocean. I'm going to go find it. I'm going to pick the parts I want, and the men that are with me are going to choose the parts they want, leave the other parts. Michael Foster, to go back to him, he's more faith-based. Mm-hmm. I don't know what color that is, but if you're a man looking for a faith-based community, go over there. Yeah. He's going to help you. Yeah. FOE, huge on accountability and camaraderie. The brotherhood is one of our greatest strengths, is like truly, we get along very well. You see us in all these things. Whatever color pill that is, it's working. Yeah. So we just do whatever works to win. I don't care about these little, I don't have time to take like little snipes about that. How the hell am I going to spend time doing that? I'm busy. Yeah. I got work to do. I got a family to lead.
When I look at like a glossary of terms in the men's development arena, okay, that's cool. So now I know what you're talking about, but a lot of times those terms are divisive. And I'm taught not to like you because you are a certain pill or a certain mindset, or you're a beta, you're a gamma, you're an alpha. You're not a true alpha. You're a blue pill. Like, my head is spinning because what started out as, I think, maybe good intentions ended up becoming like church denominations.
It's,
And one church thinks it's the true church and everyone else is a heretic.
I just don't think like that. I can't relate to
Yeah.
that at all. You know,
Yeah.
when I see it, I'm like, that's just, when you're ready to come over here, man, we're ready to do the work with you. If you're going I just spoke on a stage where there have been playboys, there have been international travelers, divorced men, and I'm a family man.
Yeah,
A married family man.
yeah,
Been with my woman since 2003.
yeah,
What do we have in common? We're men.
yeah.
We're men helping our other men. Coach EO said it very well. He had an excellent presentation also. I'm really
He did,
glad
didn't he?
It surprised me, to be honest. I didn't
Yeah.
think he would take that angle. I was like,
Yeah.
get it, man.
Yeah.
But it was cool. He's like, no, let's get together and let's just make it work the
Yeah.
best way it can work. If that's marriage, if that's family, if that's single, let's just find a way to make it work right, like a champion. I was like, dude, yes. Let's do that.
I loved what he says, marry a boring woman.
Yes. It said marry a bee, but ... And you're like, where's he going with this?
Yeah.
A boring, simple woman.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And
Yeah.
when he was talking about that, I'm like, that's my wife. Yeah. I was like, dude, you're talking to me, a woman who's just happy with the kids at home. I was like, dude, yes, this is something I can promote. But when we look at our lifestyles, we're so different. Yeah. So it's so interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
What a shame it would be if I never listened to that speech, because I'm like, he's reading from a different playbook. He's on a different team.
Right.
No, we're on the same team.
Same team. I think the first night that we were here, when I introduced all the speakers and everybody came up on stage, then I handed the mic to Donovan, and one of his lines was, "Do you think I agree with every single one of these men? Of course not. They don't agree with me, but we're here together for the same reason." I think that's part of the rising tide philosophy. I like that.
In the same way that men and women are complementary, I think the message is very complementary.
Yeah.
That playboy might give me some tools, that I could use with my wife.
Yeah.
That divorced guy who's balancing with his kids, he could give me some tools about my kids.
Sure.
We can all work together. We're men looking to help men. And Donovan, he said it very well, and that was funny because on that panel, when we were all standing there, I'm like, we are so diverse right now. You want to talk about diversity and that being our strength?
Yeah.
Look at that lineup.
Yeah, that lineup was a trip, wasn't it?
It was really good, though. It was cool to be a part of this.
Yeah, exactly. So what's your future like?
So right now, my website is going through an overhaul. So thefamilyalpha.com is going to be modernized when we get back from this. I'm about to drop a catalog of sorts. So 31 Days to Masculinity, I published that under Hunter Drew. It's time that I reclaim all that under my name. So that's being republished as Zachary Small.
Nice.
I've got several other 31-day programs. I'm 334 days sober. So one's going to be on sobriety. I'm talking about that. That's going forward, about to hit my first year. Fraternity, again, we're looking to bring more meetups to just keep raising the bar there. But life at large, my wife's healthy. We're happy. The kids are healthy. So my home's good. My life's good. My work's good. Mm-hmm. There's no complaints here.
Somebody asked me, they said, "Oh, you're in your 60s." They said, what advice do you have for me? And I said, first thing that came out of my mouth was, take care of your joints.
That's excellent advice.
Just something simple. They thought it was going to be profound or, some life-changing thing. And I have a little bit of a arthritic shoulder only recently. And I'm like, I kind of took my joints for granted. And right now, everything right now is about joint health. Mm-hmm. For me, it sounds weird, but it's, take care of your joints. And so if you were the man on top of the mountain and people were climbing on top of the mountain and said, "Give me one piece of advice, oh great master," what would you tell them?
Apply everything you learn. Do not watch 100 YouTube videos this year and be a well-watched man, not applying a single piece of that knowledge you learned from these guys talking. Don't listen to the audiobooks. Don't listen to the podcasts. Don't sit there and read all those books and then do nothing with it. What a missed opportunity. When I read a book, I'm highlighting, and that day I'm applying things. I bought Hotep Jesus' course, and I have already started applying his methods to my work.
Love it.
Same day.
Love it.
Because we don't have enough time to do these things. I don't want to be cool, I listened to this man speak. No, I learned from him, and now I'm going to make myself better from what he taught me. Too many people are consuming. Be a creator. Apply the knowledge. Go out and put yourself in a position to win.
I love it. What a great conversation. We've had a lot of these talks over the years. This is my favorite one. So it just gets better and better and better.
Yes, sir.
It's great to see you and talk to you again.
Thank you, George.
All right.
The second CME is less than a month away. Get your tickets now at masculineexcellence.com. Link in description.